Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, I'm going to be going through my entire Criterion collection. Just got some new ones in the sale, so I thought it was the perfect time for me to finally go through all of them, which I just counted. I have 40, which is crazy. That's not good for my wallet. Without further ado, let's jump into it. There's a pretty solid chunk of these that I haven't seen, so let's find out how embarrassing this is going to be. So we got 5 DVDs here. I've only seen one of these, so most of these I've gotten secondhand at thrift stores. The only one I have seen out of these 5 is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I watched this in school. I really like David Fincher. I'm not really a fan of what has been going on recently with what he's going for with his career. But let's just hope that let's hope he knows something that we don't. But yeah, I got this used. I remember this being pretty good. I just kind of got it because it was there. And most of these I've bought because I've seen a Criterion at like Savers or a Goodwill, and I'm like, whoa, I'm just gonna buy it and I'll eventually watch it. And that is the truth. I will eventually watch them. So if there's one of these in the comments that you want me to watch that I haven't seen, please yell at me. Next up, we got Harakiri. I've heard this movie's great. I'm sure it is. I haven't seen it. I know it's a samurai movie, so I need to watch that. Bully me in the comments. Another one that I found Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And this has the fun little like clear slipcase thing. So I'll definitely check this out at some point. Next up, this is one I got at the thrift store, but it's very clearly from a public library because it has all the labels on it. This is a movie called Everlasting Memories. I have no idea if it's good, but I kind of blindly saw the Criterion logo, and I'm not afraid to say that I just went, oh, it's in the Criterion Collection, I will buy it. And then the most recent one that I got, which I featured in my last collection video, was The Ice Storm by Ang Lee. So that is the end of our DVD section. So let's move on to the Digipack section, which is definitely the second largest. For these, I'm going to leave them here. I'm not going to put them all in my lap like I did those. Start off with one of the earliest ones that I got. I believe the second Criterion I ever got, which was a gift from my girlfriend Grace, which is Parasite. What hasn't been said about this movie? Like, you know, it's great. Bong Joon-ho's great. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. I'm talking directly to you, Jake Silva. It's great. It's got the little like Morse code thing on the cover. All the packaging with Criterion is great, especially from like a design standpoint. Interior of the house and stuff in their packaging. You got the little booklets with all the essays and stuff. So good. I could make a whole video about the packaging that Criterion does. If you haven't checked out any other Bong Joon-ho movies, we're gonna get to that because Memories of Murder is also in the collection. Next up, we got a movie that is in my top 4, and that is Grand Budapest Hotel by Wes Anderson. I'm not like one of those people that's like, oh, well, his movies look the same and are the same. I think he has his own style, and I think that that's cool. It's fun to see filmmakers that have a unique, distinct style, and I think that this is where it is done the best. I still have not seen a pretty good chunk of his filmography, and I have to get to that. Grand Budapest is my favorite of the ones I've seen. I love the characters. I just love the whole aesthetic. I love the maturity of the movie. I like that it's like violent. And then, yeah, you got the little fun packaging. You got the painting Boy with Apple if you've seen the movie and you know. Next up, we got another one that I haven't watched yet, and that is Eraserhead. And I've been trying to watch more David Lynch stuff, and so I definitely want to check this out. Speaking of, go right into Fire Walk with Me. One of the toughest movies to watch that I've ever seen. It's great, but obviously the plot is really sad. Twin Peaks is great. I really like Twin Peaks. I've got first 2 seasons on DVD. I haven't watched The Return yet. Then, next up we got the double pack of Yojimbo and Sanjuro by Akira Kurosawa. Haven't watched either of these. I haven't watched any Kurosawa yet, and I own 3 of them. Do you see why this is going to be a problem? I didn't know where to start. I didn't know whether to start with these or the other one that I have from him, which is High and Low. I will definitely start his stuff soon because I'm very, very interested in all the things I've heard about him as a filmmaker. Then we got another Wes Anderson. We got Fantastic Mr. Fox. Great movie. Love to watch this in the fall. Probably my second favorite. Maybe, I don't know. It's either this or Royal Tenenbaums is my second favorite. It feels like we're just jumping between David Lynch and Wes Anderson, but here we go, back to David Lynch with Blue Velvet. Definitely need to rewatch this. This was the first thing I ever watched from David Lynch, and I don't know if that was a good idea or not, because I kind of just left confused. And so I think now that I've watched Twin Peaks, a little more used to his filmmaking style, I think I need to rewatch this, dive deeper into it a little more. One of my more recent pickups is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Love this movie. Had to get the 4K for this because of it unfolds to be Pinocchio's nose, which is the coolest thing ever. They always nail it with the packaging, and I'm totally for paying slightly more for the 4K just to get the better quality and also a cooler package. I just think it's cool. This movie's great. Tom Kenny's in this movie and he makes poop and fart jokes, and this movie's also really sad. Alright, now we get into the first of my sale picks from the recent sale that was like 2 weeks ago, and that is Repo Man. My friend Liam, shout out to Liam, showed me this a while ago. This is one of his favorite movies. This movie is very silly and weird, and I love the cover, and I'm a big fan of the color green. I thought the movie was just about stealing cars, and then I saw the first like 2 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is not what I thought this was going to be about at all. And check out Repo Man. And maybe the polar opposite of Repo Man is Silence of the Lambs. What can I say about this that hasn't already been said? This is very similar to the Parasite situation, where we all know that this is a great movie. We all know this is a borderline perfect movie. But yeah, this is one of the only few horror movies to like win a bunch of Oscars, and it's awesome. Then we move on to a Wes Anderson movie that I haven't seen yet, which is Moonrise Kingdom. I got this a while ago, and I just haven't sat down and watched it, and that is my own fault. Probably the Criterion that I've rewatched the most recently is I just rewatched Videodrome. Videodrome is cool. I love the packaging on this, and that when you pull it out, it's like a VHS tape. This is really cool. Videodrome's really weird, and all the effects in this movie are really good. Check out Videodrome if you're into weird freak movies. And finishing off with the Digipacks, we got Mulholland Drive. Once again, haven't seen this. I'm gonna watch it. I've heard people say that maybe this was a better place to start for David Lynch. I don't know. I'm just gonna watch probably Eraserhead first, and then this, and then maybe like Elephant Man, or I don't know. Alright, now we're gonna move on to just the Blu-rays, which is the largest section of the entire collection. This is everything we've just done. This is double. Start off with one of my favorites that's in this collection is 12 Angry Men. Watched this in school a bunch of times. Once I started getting into the collection and found out that this was a part of it, I was like, oh, well, this is obviously I have to get this. And the cover's super cool. And then you got obviously inside like that. I would definitely recommend 12 Angry Men if you haven't seen it. Then we move on to The Vanishing. This was a blind buy when I did buy it. I wanted to look at more horror movies that were in the collection, and I kept getting recommended this. I didn't love it at first. It's because I think about this movie constantly. It's the most lingering movie I've ever seen, and I don't want to spoil anything about it, but if you want to watch a horror movie that's not going to like keep you up at night, but is just going to be in the back of your mind every single moment of your life going forward, then this is the movie. And polar opposite to that, if you want to watch a movie about kids that don't speak and they just decide to fart instead, you should watch Good Morning. This is directed by Ozu. This movie is basically about two kids that want a television set in Japan a little bit after World War II, and they basically decide to go on like a vow of not speaking to their parents until they get one, and so they communicate with each other only via farting, which drives their parents insane. It's only like 95 minutes. It's a pretty good time. Once again, with another Japanese movie, Tampopo, which if you've come from my TikTok, I made a TikTok about that. Maybe I should just upload that short on here. But yeah, Tampopo is really cool. I had been meaning to watch this for a while, and I just didn't, and then I finally did, and I loved it. It made me so hungry, because it's just making really good ramen noodles, the movie. Wow, we're really on a roll with the Japanese movies right here. I didn't mean to do this on purpose, but we got Cure, which is not like Tampopo. This movie is scary. This movie is most similar to Silence of the Lambs, I think, of any other movie in the collection, maybe besides Memories of Murder, which is also coming up. And this is a movie about just unmotivated murders, is what it says, and I guess that's a good way to say it. There's just a bunch of murders happening, and it's about this detective trying to track them down, and it just all has this it's just such a weird, looming movie, where you just don't know what's going to happen, and then randomly they'll just hit you with the most terrifying shot you've ever seen in your entire life. So yeah, I should definitely rewatch this again soon, because I watched this and I was like, wow, that was cool, and I keep thinking about it, so I should rewatch this. After Hours, This was like one of the most anticipated ones that got in recently. I know a lot of people were asking for After Hours. This is a Scorsese movie. This is the closest Scorsese has gotten to making like a comedy horror movie. After Hours is really fun. It's basically just this main character guy that Griffin Dunn plays, just trying to hook up with someone, and it just leads to like the worst possible things that could ever happen to anyone, and there's nothing he can do about it, and it's pretty funny to watch because it's just a wild goose chase of just insanity. So yeah, After Hours is really cool. I love the art on this, and yeah, very underrated Scorsese movie, I would say. Come and see. Haven't watched this yet. I haven't watched this, and I have a valid reason to why I haven't watched this. I've owned this for like over a year. The reason I haven't watched this is because I know it's going to make me depressed. I know it's going to make me upset, and usually I don't look for that. So one day I'm going to have to just sit down and just put it on. I'm sure it's great. I've heard it's fantastic, but it's also like terrifying. Being John Malkovich, this is a very silly movie. Very dumb, fun, stupid concept, and it's like played upon in like the funniest ways possible. It answers the question, what if you could walk through a tiny little door and then just be John Malkovich for 10 minutes? And then when you're done being John Malkovich, they just throw you out onto the Jersey Turnpike. Have you ever thought that question before? Because it's answered now. Thief by Michael Mann with James Caan. Very cool movie. One of the prettiest movies that I've ever watched. It's just all cool night shots with beautiful colored lighting and explosions and fire and sparks and shootouts. Just guys being dudes. It's the best way to put it. I would definitely check this out if you haven't seen it. The Game by David Fincher. This is the first Criterion I ever got. Very similar to After Hours in the way that it is just about a guy being tortured through like funny tricks and stuff, and it's just fun to watch. Very poor wording on the last one, funny tricks and stuff. Here we got Funny Games, which is not a fun movie. This is one of the most fucked up movies I've ever watched. I don't want to tell you anything about it, but if you want to be disturbed, you can watch Funny Games. I'm not going to stop you, but I'm not going to encourage it. No, I should encourage it. It's great. It's a really good movie. Here's a fun movie. This is a fun movie. It's House. Fun movie right here. This is a Scooby-Doo episode, a crazy psychedelic Scooby-Doo episode. It's about a bunch of schoolgirls going to visit one of the girls' aunts in the countryside, and there's a cat there, and then the house is evil and haunted, and so is the cat, and so is the aunt, and then everything tries to kill them. Okja, this is also one I just got in the new sale, and I've already watched this. Another Bong Joon-ho. Grace recommended this to me. This movie's really good. It made me really upset. If you've seen it, you know why. Because it's too real. But yeah, the visuals in this are crazy. The VFX are so good, and all the characters are really funny. Jake Gyllenhaal is really silly in this movie. He's not in it very much, but he's very silly. And we got another one that I picked up recently, and it's The 400 Blows. Haven't watched this yet. I kind of wanted to get into the French New Wave stuff because I don't really know a lot about it. So I did some research, and people said that this was a good place to start, either this or Breathless. And the last movie that I got in the recent sale, which is Night of the Living Dead, I was also recommended this. Haven't seen this. I love horror movies, and the fact that I haven't seen this is probably a crime, so I will definitely be watching this soon. Then, as I mentioned earlier, I got High and Low by Akira Kurosawa. I know that this is getting a weird A24 remake by Spike Lee. I don't know what they're doing there. But yeah, I'm going to definitely watch this first, if I even decide to go watch the new one. We got one of my favorites, Memories of Murder, right here. This is a great movie. If you like mysteries, murder movies, detective movies, or Bong Joon-ho movies, then this is the movie for you. And if you like all of those, you probably have already seen this, but if you haven't, what are you doing? Get up and watch this. It's great. Then we got the Scorsese shorts. I really like Scorsese short films. I watched them a couple times on YouTube and stuff, so I decided to get this. I haven't watched Italian American or American Boy yet, which are the longer ones, but I definitely will at some point. I have to get to those. Then we got Dick Johnson is Dead. This is the only documentary that I have. I guess you could call it a documentary. Yeah, it's described as a docu-fantasia by Kristen Johnson. It's about her dad, and he's beginning to face dementia, and so she basically makes this movie capturing that, and they kind of role play him having a funeral and everything, so that way he can see and actually remember how the people that would go there would feel about him, which is really unique. It's very sad. This is a Netflix movie also, which is weird. I mean, it was Netflix funded, but obviously it wasn't a Netflix original movie. And you should definitely check it out if you're into like documentary stuff, or even just the concept alone, if that grabbed you. We got Worst Person in the World. I saw this in a theater alone when this came out, and it was really, really good. I love this movie. It's just a really good movie that's like kind of a coming of age movie, also not at the same time. And then finishing it off with another movie that I haven't watched yet, and that is Punch Drunk Love. Got this a while ago. I haven't seen any Paul Thomas Anderson movies, which I know is probably a crime, and I definitely will before the new one comes out. So I will definitely be watching this soon. Probably going to be watching most of the ones that I haven't seen soon because I feel bad that I haven't watched them. That is my Criterion Collection. If there's any in the collection that you think I should pick up based on my tastes, please let me know. And yeah, with that, you can click the other video that's here, and subscribe is probably over there or on top of my face. And yeah, thanks for watching.